Hello everybody, my name is Ripley Sartain. I run a YouTube channel called Wisconsin Wonder Garden. We're downstairs in one of our newer indoor grow locations where we're transferring some of our plants because we're in the process of moving right now. And I got a new LED light that I want to check out and review for you guys. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing and doing an in-depth look at the manufacturing process and basically the quality of the build of this LED light. This is a Aokrean 1000-watt LED grow light with some CREE COB LEDs included inside of it too. Those CREE lights I found to be very beneficial in regards to the growth of the plant. So definitely check out LED lights with CREE COBs just like this one if you don't happen to purchase this one here. But the CREE COBs are very beneficial. I'm excited to test this light out. I have used many lights from Aokrean in the past with great results, so I'm excited to check this one out as it's a new one on the line, and seems to be pretty interesting with these reflectors that they have set up too. And I'm just going to show you, opening up the package. There is the manual. Oh, cool. It actually comes with a temperature and humidity gauge, as well as a clock. It's pretty neat. Never had that before with a grow light. The power cord. The adjustable strap to support it, which is very nice if you have vegetables or plants or anything that's going to be growing throughout various heights, and so you need to adjust that light height. That can be very beneficial, so you don't have to deal with anything. All you do is pull that string right up and your light's adjusted to the height that you need it. Very, very beneficial. And the light itself, wow. You can see that all of these LED diodes have reflectors on them. You can take a look there. Those reflectors are meant to expand the area that light is reaching, and that can be definitely helpful in maximizing your area, but you want to make sure that if you have your light too far off your plants and stuff, it's not going to be growing. But with a 1000-watt LED light like this can really cover a pretty large area. You can definitely get several big plants growing under this thing with no problem whatsoever. The actual power draw on this is about 200 watts, so many people get confused when buying LED lights. Not saying that you who is watching this right now has no idea about it, but I get the feedback a lot of times where people think a 1000-watt LED fixture is going to be drawing 1000 watts. That is the size of fixture that is meant to replace. So if you've got like a high pressure sodium bulb, a 1000-watt bulb, that's what this is meant to replace, while only consuming 200 watts of actual power. So 5 times the energy efficiency compared to that HPS bulb. Now, you're not going to get quite the same amount of growth quite yet with LED lights, but I have heard that they've come a long way and are really, 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 really close to totally replacing HPS bulbs and all of those old style bulbs that everybody used to use for many, many years. These things are just about beating them out at this point. So I definitely recommend, if you're doing any sort of grow, if you're growing any vegetables, any plants at all, you're growing cannabis, definitely get an LED light. You're not going to have the heat to deal with. You don't have to deal with the insane energy cost of running those either. And these LED fixtures are actually generally pretty cheap. This is about $145, really affordable to get going at any size, whether you want to scale up and buy a bunch of these or just get 1 or 2 for your small indoor grow. It's definitely affordable, so I recommend going LED. Let's go and check this out. We will plug it in. We will evaluate the noise level as well as just take a look at the overall look of the light, just so you guys can get a picture of it so you can see it firsthand, because I know that's what you guys love about these unboxing and review videos, is just to see the dang thing working. So without further ado, let's plug it in. Interesting enough, something else that's kind of a distinguishing factor about this light is the power supply goes in on the side, as opposed to most lights come out of the top. I think I don't see any pros or cons of that, but just to be noted for you guys in case you have any sort of restrictions or anything like that for the actual footprint of the light, it comes out of the side and not on the top. But I actually think I like it because that provides you with a spot for the cord to go down on the side. So I'm just going to turn on the bloom light, which, as you guys know, is more of that red spectrum. And then the vegetative state is the full spectrum, or like the daylight wavelength of light. And then getting them both together here, it's really not very annoying of a color. Like if you have this in a spot where you're going to be seeing some of the reflection coming out of your grow area, or if you've got it off in a living room or something like that where you're growing some house plants and you are going to be seeing this light, it's really not unappealing at all. Very bright. I would say average noise level there. And these CREE, these cob lights in the center there, that's the vegetative state. Those are those lights running. Those alone seem to be very bright too, so even if you don't need the blooming cycle at all and are just going to use the veg cycle, I think those lights will be plenty sufficient to grow some pretty impressive plants. Like, all I know, most of my indoor plants, if you are growing indoor house plants and stuff like these monsteras or Christmas cactus, Hoyas, alocasias, the whole deal, that's going to grow most of those house plants without that blooming cycle if you need it. So that offers a little bit of flexibility for you guys for many different growing situations. The overall build quality is good. I like their logo right there with the leaves. Nice. Very happy with it. And if you guys would like to daisy chain them together, I think you can do up to 5 of them. Yeah, it must be less than 1,000 watts, so you could probably, I wouldn't put more than 4 together on a daisy chain. That way you can do a whole big area of stuff, whatever you guys have got growing. And definitely a great way to start out. So again, that's the Aokrean 1,000 watt LED grow light that has the full spectrum CREE cob lights, as well as that the bloom cycle lights with the wavelengths that are great for when your flowers or plants are going into a blooming cycle, especially your cannabis plants. You need that blooming cycle. It's very crucial. So go ahead and pick up one of these lights. It definitely passes by my book. I've gotten several LED lights in the past that are just junk, and you can tell right off the bat from opening up out of the package whether or not the light is junk. From my experience, I've never had a light that seemed to be built great that failed a couple of months down the road, but almost every light that I have tested that was, you could tell the build quality wasn't quite that good out of the package, then those were the lights that failed me within the first 6 months to a year, almost every single time. So this one gets the go ahead. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Again, check out my YouTube channel, Wisconsin Wonder Garden. That's youtube.com/Wisconsin Wonder Garden. Happy growing.